Hello and welcome to the Rediff Podcast. Our guest today is a proud Sindhi. She's a hairstylist to some of the top Bollywood actors and cricketers. Our guest today actually needs no introduction. She's the versatile and the most talented Sapna Bhavnani.
Wow, that's a very heavy intro. Proud Sindhi, though, that is true. That is really true.
Sapna is just back with her salon Mad-O-Wot, which we all have been following for quite a long time. Sapna, tell us what really took you so long to restart Mad-O-Wot.
Um, I think that I've never run it as a business, and I think that is the difference when a salon or anything is run by a corporate or by an artist. So I always ran matter what with heart, and it always led with heart. I think in 2020 I was just burnt out, and I just needed a break, so I just shut it down. I knew I would come back, but I just didn't know when. So from matter what, it became no matter what, which is nomadic. So that was really wonderful because I could cut on a mountain, I could cut on a beach, I could cut in a garden. I wasn't restricted to a small little space. And that got me actually more excited. And I spent the last 5 years living in my house 3 hours out of Bombay, which is a sustainable eco dome sort of a village that I had built. So because I lived there for so long, I knew that when I wanted to restart Matawat, it was like time. I knew that I wanted it to have all of these principles. It needed to be sustainable, it needed to be eco, it also needed to have a garden and a green space because these are things that all Mumbaikars lack. It took me 1 year, but I found the perfect bungalow with a garden. It happened. And so we relaunched Mad-O-Wot as India's greenest salon. And right now we're just setting up all the things we're going to do in the garden. And it's been really a wonderful journey so far. It's
Right.
only been literally, we've not even had our official launch yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, what really, how did you coin the term what matter what? I mean, how did the idea come about?
I think anyone in especially Bandra lives by that word. I mean, it's the biggest advertising campaign you can ever have, right? Every second of the day, there is someone saying Madawat somewhere in Bandra, somewhere in Khar, maybe somewhere in Bombay as well.
Right. Tell us about your journey because we've been reading so much that you've done multiple things in your career. Like it's not just been a linear path where you one day decided to be a hairstylist. You've done so many roles. You've been a singer, musician. You've also done films and all that. How did you decide to be a hairstylist one day?
I don't think you decide. Maybe in today's day and age, everything is decided. I think that when I came from, it was a calling and you
Hmm.
just followed it. You don't decide things. Um, I literally had no training. I just picked up scissors and I would visualize a shape and I would just cut it. It's like an artist. You can't go to art school to become an artist. You can only enhance your craft, but that is something inborn. It's a calling that you have. Same with writers. You can pay all the money in the world, go to school and think you're the greatest writer alive, but that's bullshit. It has to come from within. And if you don't have that skill, no money, no education can get you there. So it's the same with hair. It's something that is artistic, and every haircut you make your own. It's not something that school teaches you, because if that was the case, every haircut would look the same as well, right? Um, so I feel it was a calling. Since I was a child, my hair has always been like my way of expressing myself. In fact, in seventh standard, I had a bald head while growing up in Bandra. So it's always been my medium of expression, hair and clothes. And I think it would only be natural that I would go that route, even in my main career, as if you want to call it that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about the first time you met Mahendra Singh Dhoni and how did your friendship grow over the years?
I don't think it's the first time I met Mahendra Singh Dhoni. I think it's the first time Mahendra Singh Dhoni met me.
Wow,
Yeah, because he had never seen a woman that looked like me.
superb.
Yeah, he's like coming from a small town, just breaking into the scene. I remember I also had, I don't follow cricket. I still don't follow cricket.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I have no desire to really see what happens with some men on a field with balls. It's really not
Okay.
exciting. I can see them in my bedroom. It's good enough. Uh, but that being said, I think that when I got a phone call to kind of do his hair, I really had no idea who that guy was. And back then, I think it was very limited. You could go online and do searches and stuff. It wasn't to the point where you could really, like, and this was 2006.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had just started my salon 2004. And I looked up, all I could see was like orange hair flying um, in the air. And I was like, oh, this guy. And so I was like, all right. So, I just went. But I don't think, did a Google search or anything on me. So I was prepared to see orange hair. He was not prepared to see a woman who looked like this.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was so scared. His manager at that point, UD was standing there and he was just like this. And the goal was, I thought, I just looked at him and I said, first thing, we'll just color your hair dark.
Okay.
Let's just start there. And so there was a salon in Taj. We were like, we'll just do it there. And that's what he did. Literally, he just sat like a good boy through the mirror, just watched me like this. And I colored his hair. And that was that. That's how the first experience was. Yeah.
But I'm sure, every other look that you did with him was like viral and everybody wanted to copy
No, no.
that.
I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm just talking about the first experience. The second time around, I asked him to come to my salon. I said, okay, why don't you come to my salon? And when he did that, there was Kishore Kumar playing in my salon.
Wow.
And when he walked in, it was something that he did not expect. He did not, because in many ways he had judged me, and that's fair enough. I
Hmm.
had judged him on his hair, and he had judged me on my looks. And so when he saw that I'm listening to this, that was it for him.
Oh.
Since then, he could not stop talking, and he just did not till, I think, the last day I worked with him was December 2020 or Jan 21.
Mm.
Yeah, till then. So I've been very integral in shaping his entire look, and we did it with intention.
Right.
I did it where I knew you're going to be captain. There's a certain feel and command a captain should have. Plus, I told him that, women are not really finding you attractive with this hair. We need to change it. We need older women to also fall for you. He
Wow.
was like, really? I'm like, yeah, just wait. And that's when we went short, and that whole narrative changed.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And I think you also, changed the look of a lot of Bollywood actors during the time because seeing, I don't know if the order is the same, but you also work with Priyanka Chopra, you work with Bipasha Basu's
Yeah.
look. So tell us about, how your experience of working with these stars were. Were they rigid when they came to you and you had to kind of give them a makeover, or were they very comfortable, like, you give us a look?
Um, I don't think that Priyanka was not so much. It was just for one film, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it was like a change, because most actors to this day don't really change their look for
Right.
a character. So that's very rare that you see that. But Bipasha, I think, was one of my favorites. Very experimental. She could change her look like that, and every look looked so great on her. She is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever you do to that woman, she just looked fabulous. So for a person like me to have Bipasha and John, at that point they were obviously a
Yeah.
couple. I felt like they were the most glamorous, most beautiful couple there were. And the fact that because I did not follow Bollywood, I did
Mm,
not follow cricket, which was really great because I had no questions to ask them about anything.
absolutely.
That was one of the things that Mahi loved the best in me because I never asked him about cricket. Because everywhere he went, everyone just wanted to know about cricket, and I think he was just like so overwhelmed by that. And with me, it was never that.
Hmm.
So it was quite refreshing that someone who does not know much, you know. So I felt like Bips was. really, really amazing for me to kind of work with, mold. We have done so many different looks with her. Another wonderful person that I really loved working with was Yana.
Hmm.
Wherever you are, Yana, come back. Like, I don't know where you are, but she was also my flatmate for a little bit in the
Oh,
middle.
interesting.
Yeah, it's like she was going through a divorce and I was going through a divorce, and she had this big 3 bedroom flat, and she was like, well, where are you going to go when you move out of this guy's house? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, I have 3 bedrooms.
Oh,
Really amazing.
cute. Yeah.
I feel like she was a wonderful soul. I think somewhere maybe the industry just ate her up. I'm not sure.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
But these women really, I really loved. Another one was Mandira.
Hmm.
I felt like working with Mandira was also really, really wonderful. And the way she commanded respect with that short hair, once again, was really wonderful to break that cliche that you cannot look great in Indian clothes with short hair. And she really did that a lot, especially when, even when she was on TV speaking of cricket, and to be this woman who stood her ground and looked like this, I felt like somewhere you attract your vibe and you attract your tribe. So I constantly attracted people who were, very avant garde in their own right,
Hmm.
and kind of stood their ground and knew exactly what they wanted,
Hmm.
which is kind of how I am in my life.
Hmm.
So you attract that kind of people as well, you
So
know.
when some of these celebrities come to you, how do you do? Like, do they tell you what they want, or you tell them that this is what will look good on you?
I haven't worked with celebrities now in 5 years, so
Okay.
I don't know what's
Hmm.
going to happen next. So, but before it was always a joint decision.
Hmm.
With Mahi, it was always me doing what I wanted. He never once told me how his hair should be.
Hmm.
So
That trust.
yeah, yeah, it's all you don't go to someone, you can't go to someone you don't trust. Especially when it comes to hair,
Hmm.
because unlike makeup, you can't just wipe that off.
Right.
It's something then you have to sit with for a very long time.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's a very trusting
But has
situation.
it ever happened that something has gone, like you did something and somebody didn't really like the kind of look that you created for them?
Um,
Like initially they may not have liked, and over time they may have liked it.
no,
Not really.
no. I think I had one client, and then I apologized that you were not too happy, and I gave the money back.
Okay.
But then later on, she apologized because it
Oh,
was fine. So I
okay.
said, "Do you want to give my money back?" Yeah.
Lovely,
But yeah,
lovely.
so far so good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Then obviously your career took a turn and all that. Um, have you also worked with Sushant Singh,
Yeah, I mean during
the
the
filming?
film, yeah,
You,
because I knew a lot of secrets, but and I was like, I'm not going to tell you secrets because you're not anyway going to show that in the film. Even the director of the film was, asking me some questions, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I can't give you too much because I just can't. What will my book have then
yeah.
if I tell you everything? Um, but yeah, Sushant has been, was really lovely during that time. Um, and somewhere we just had a really great bond going.
Hmm.
Also for the PR of the film,
How was
we
he as
were,
a person, as an actor, as a professional?
I mean, as an actor, once again, I've never seen his films because I am not that person.
Hmm.
Literally, I only saw that film because I had no choice.
Acha.
I had to go to the premiere and see Dhoni's film.
Uh,
But otherwise, I've not seen any of his films. So I can't comment on
right.
that. But I can only say that he's a wonderful guy. I mean, very friendly, very normal, very casual. This is what I really, really loved in him.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
He didn't have that thing where I'm a star and
Hmm.
that's pretty much that.
Right.
Yeah.
Sapna, you've always been someone who's very express. You never really hide behind your behind a facade or whatever. You're very open about. Has it sometimes also got you into trouble? But how do you really keep it going? Like, whatever come what may, you don't really lose your personality, or how do you keep it going?
Um, I mean, I was out yesterday with a friend of mine, and he was just talking about us. He's having this problem, that problem, whatever in life in general. And I was just telling him about some yoga hacks. And I told him, in yoga, we believe that as long as you keep your spine young, you are as old as that and you will live forever as long as your spine stays intact. And then I turned around and I told him, and the same goes for life. As long as you have a spine for what you believe in your principles, you
Deep.
will stay fine. But the minute you don't have a spine, A, you will die, and A, you will die without principles. So that's really bad.
Yeah.
So spines are important.
And you got a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I've been practicing yoga now for 20 years. I think my
Okay.
spine is somehow getting aligned,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Since we were on the topic of hair, what are some of the classic hairstyles that we've seen over the years, and which are the hairstyles that have stayed with you? Like it started with top buns and all, in the 70s and 80s, what we
Oh,
used to see.
oh, I mean, I think my most favorite, which I also sadhana,
Uh-huh.
as you can see,
Yeah,
big sadhana fan,
yeah.
and nobody knows the sadhana is Sindhi.
Oh,
There you go. And sadhana cut. I mean, it's just, in America, you could call it breakfast and Tiffany's, and oh, yeah, but sadhana was carrying it m- better, I see. Not
wow.
Audrey, sorry. Um, but also, Sharmila Tagore with like the really big bouffants, like Vajanti Mala, all of them. I feel like every actor had their own style back then, you know. Now it's just become like a factory line. So they all look the same. They all act the same. You can't, no one really has individual style, I feel. So those days of individual style, like even if you looked at Zinat Aman or like, Parveen Babi, they, both of them, classic. Like you can name anyone from back then and they would have a very distinct style. Sri Devi, anyone. Something will come up and you're like, oh my God, like that was only that person's thing, you know? Can you name that about anyone today?
Yeah,
Like, oh, that is something only that person does.
true,
There isn't, you know?
true.
So I'm just saying, like, and that's the thing about age and style, everything comes back. Like now that you see the whole feathered cup
Hmm.
is coming back, which is great because it was never bad to begin with, you know. So it's great to see like it's all coming back, the 70s and the whole like curtain bangs as we want to call it now, but we just call them flicks. You know what I mean? Remember
Yeah,
flicks?
yes.
Yeah. So I feel, with everything, um, old is never going to go out of style. Honestly, it's just for people who believe in trends, they can ride that train, but old will always be gold.
Yeah. Among the stars, whose personal style have you admired the most in terms of the entire look or how they carried themselves?
I think the maddest person I ever met, and I thought that would not happen, someone who could match my madness was Ranveer Singh.
Oh,
I remember when I first met him, like, he was just like this over the top character, and I was like, wow. Um, and then I was shooting once with Mahi, and he said, I really want to meet Mahi. I've never met him. I said, okay, come on. I think I can arrange that. It's very easy for me. So I told him, we're shooting at this studio. Come. I told Mahi, obviously, mutual permissions were taken, whatever. And he came, and, he went down on the floor like this.
oh, Sashtang.
And and Maya was so embarrassed, and I was like, dude, like what are you doing? You know. But what I love about that guy, I think it's changed now because I don't think he's so.
Yeah,
This is what fame does. It
yeah,
kills your fire. It just because then you have to just be so careful of whatever you say and what someone is going to say and what. But back then, when you just start out, you don't care. You're just you know. So I feel that Ranveer was amazing. I really loved hanging with him. I loved doing his hair. He was so easy, so breezy. This when he was dating Anushka. So both of them, were very once again a very dynamic sort of couple and so different in so many ways, but so interesting kind of to kind of just hang out with. Yeah.
right. You've also worked with Virat Kohli.
Yeah, Virat. Once again, when he started out, he my most favorite cricketer though, by far, is Yuvraj Singh.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He is the most fun. I love people who just speak their mind. They don't really like mince their words. And Yuvraj has been to me like just amazing. Virat was like a young Yuvraj, so he was so much fun.
Okay.
When he started out, once again, this guy out like cool, hip, happening, all the things that Mahi wasn't,
Hmm.
So it was like, okay, so I have Virat on one end, who's all of this, and Mahi, who is not all of this, so it was a good switch. But the point, what happened was because I was doing both the hair and the cricket team would take a break at the same time. So both of them were shooting at the same time. So whoever would call me, like whatever ad agency would call me first, I would give that date to that. So what was happening was a lot of my days were going to Virat and not to Mahi. And Mahi did not like that. So he
Mm.
was like, dude, but you were with me first. And I was like, you know what? You are right. And that's a very conscious call to take. So I stopped working with Virat and just stuck with Mahi because of that.
Oh,
Yeah. And then,
wow.
of course, then Chennai Super Kings was there. So then it became like the whole team.
Hmm.
And then when they moved to Pune, it was Pune. But Pune was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
horrible. I didn't like that experience as a team. I didn't even think they belonged there, really,
uh,
um, when that happened. But Chennai Super Kings,
right,
the
right.
camaraderie is really wonderful. Yeah.
Right. Sapna, tell us about the transition that happened after, you doing the hair first, stars and all. We kind of saw you delve a little bit into films and all. And then after the Nirbhaya incident happened, we saw a completely new avatar of you, which was, more focused and directed towards social causes and everything, which you were already doing. But
Yeah,
the focus became more on, women empowerment and, doing what you did for Shiros and all that with Alok and all.
sure.
So tell us about that part of your journey, the kind of learnings you had, and what people don't really know about the survivors.
I think that I was all, I mean, it's not something that I stand for women empowerment or anything like that, but I feel I was always geared towards that from the very beginning. I think in the salon as well, we were an all women salon, very proud and women run, women operated. From the very beginning, it was kind of like this only. And if we saw anyone who had any problems, even if you can't afford a haircut, we're very open with just get it for free and go. um and before that we had also opened um a pathshala, which was an academy for sex workers, where we
Oh,
gave them free hair training so they could get another trade and skill, and get out of sex work. So I think, a lot of people don't understand is how much more you can give as a hair person besides just cutting hair. The education that you can kind of give is also priceless, because with that someone can really do so many different things. So I think when Nirbhaya happened, I was actually in the Big Boss house, and I had no idea. Obviously, we are locked up in this stupid jail sort of situation, right? And I actually, when there is like some TV monitor where you speak to some Mr. Dude or something, and I just went and I told him, dude, I think you have this platform where you can talk of things that really matter instead of these stupid tasks that you do, and you just like starve us and you think this is great and whatever, when you can actually look at social causes. And they were like, oh, like what? Because that to them is so boring, like, social cause kaun karega big boss pe. And I said, well, there is rape and maybe we can do a skit, and I have a story. And this guy Rajiv, who was part of that crew, he said, "Oh, I can translate that in Hindi." I said, "Yeah, so maybe we could do enact something. We could do." And they were like, "Yeah, yeah, we'll think about it and get back to you." I was like, "Okay, that's not gonna happen." Um, I kid you not. 3 days later, they called us back and they're talking to us, and they actually thought I was getting information from outside, and I was like, "What do you mean?" They were like, So something has happened outside. We don't want to tell you what that is, but I think we can do your rape skit if you want to do.
Okay.
And I was like, okay.
What changed?
So I didn't know. I mean, so anyway, so I worked with Rajiv. We worked very hard to kind of do it. But in the midst of it, of course, big boss people that they are, then they try to throw spins to it and this. And I got really pissed off. And I was like, this is not happening. You're insulting this whole story. I canned it, you know. Uh, it's only when I came out January 4th or 5th, and I found out that the day I'd gone to them and told them to do this skit was the day the story broke
Oh.
in the country. I had no idea. This is how connected I was with Jyoti Singh Pandey. It was almost like I was like, you know, so they were actually a little stunned. Like, how have you, like,
Oh
out of the
God.
blue, just come and told us that? And then 2, 3 days later, they came back because then the protests had started.
Right.
So they thought maybe now what she's saying is right, and maybe we should do something because the whole country was protesting, right? Obviously, by the time I came out, she was no more. And I found out much later, and they told me this. And it was really crazy how the whole thing played out. But then my friend Purna, I came back to Bandra, and 2 days later, she was like, babe, we're doing this play on Nirbhaya, and we're looking for women who've had, a sexual encounter, assault. Do you know of any? It was literally like all happening just like that. And I was just like, oh, really? I'm like, maybe I have a story. And she was like, really? And that's how the whole thing started. And I was cast into Nirbhaya, and in that's how that play traveled with the play worldwide. It won a lot of awards and stuff, but I could not finish the whole play either, like the whole run, because somewhere I felt like doing this on stage every day and reliving your story,
Mm.
I needed, it's actually not fun.
Mm.
So I asked them, like, do you have a psychologist or someone, a therapist I can talk to while we're doing this? And they were like, no, that's not in our budget. And I felt like, how are you doing a play on sexual assault and you don't have a budget for a therapist for anyone that's on your play? I mean, that's something that should be like the
Yeah.
number one thing you should have. So I could not continue with it because mentally it was really not working with me. So I kind of left the play. But I did another play actually called Jatinga, and that was on sex workers, and that was in Australia. And that was a really wonderful play. So I think theater came to me at the right time, and such a great medium. But film, also a great medium, which is what I was anyway doing through the salon. I started with music videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought I'd found my voice. I did a great one with Rekha ji. And she was like, Sapna, no one has ever showcased me like the way you did. She
Mm.
really, so with Kailash here as well. So I really found my voice in that music video zone because I love music and I love cinema, and I thought that was a great mix. And that's how my journey actually started into filmmaking only.
Wow. I think Sapna, we'll want you to sing at some point,
No,
you
no,
know.
I don't sing. I'm not a singer.
You won't sing.
No, no, I don't sing. I'm not a singer.
You write, basically.
Yeah, I write. I write. Yeah.
Okay. So you don't perform and all.
No, no, no,
Okay,
no, no,
interesting.
no.
Okay. Sapna, like you also mentioned about the films that you were working on. How do you choose a subject for your films? Do they come to you naturally, or you really sit with the team and discuss that this is an issue that I want to find a focus on
You mean
the films that you've been a part of,
that I have directed?
directed?
Oh, no, no, no. There is no team. We're indie people, yeah. Indie people don't have big teams to work with. There are like 3 people and they have to do everything. This is no big studio giving you that kind of money. Like the team you have right here, this is the whole team. That's that's all you really need. You don't need 100 people to make a good film. This
Hmm.
is just, you have money, so why not? But no, my first feature film was called Sindustan,
Right.
and that was based on the Sindhi migration. I felt like there has been zero films or education on our journey, and when I started making it, it took me like 8 years to kind of get into that. But I told the whole story of Sindh. I interviewed so many survivors through tattoos on my legs.
Yeah.
So the whole story is on my legs. And it was really, I think, for a lot of young people, because I made this for young people to be interested in their roots. And it really worked because a friend of mine who does online analysis and whatever research, and he sent me this clip and he says, Sapna, I want you to know that since Hindustan came out, never had Sindh been researched or Googled so much. So that's the power of cinema. You can really tell your story, and people will really, really, you know, listen when you speak. So yeah, that was my first one.
Yeah.
And then after that, I made one with Rajshri Deshpande and Anshuman Jha. That was during COVID.
Mhm.
That one was completely artistic masturbation, if I
Oh,
may put it in
okay.
that word. It
The
was
technical.
1 hour of no dialogue movie and just pure great visuals of man and woman. That's what that was.
Oh,
But I'm gonna make it in cult status. I don't release it. It went to a few festivals and I've just kept it like that right now. And I've just finished writing my third one, which is a full-on horror feature.
but how comfortable are artists to do films like that, which are not commercial and still have a certain purpose behind it?
Come on, it's Rajshri Deshpande. Look at her graph. That woman is like amazing. She only does films like that. So you also have to work with the right artist, right?
Right.
Like I would not probably work with someone who would never really put themselves in an avatar like that. But
Hmm.
she is really amazing and she really gets into the skin of a character so good.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, you talked about Sindhustan. A producer here is also a Sindhi,
Okay.
and I have a lot of friends who are Sindhis. But you rightly mentioned, I've followed so many of your interviews in which you've said that there are very few people who know very little about the Sindhi culture and the history of the Sindhi culture, because there's very little material available, and there are very few people who know the real history of our. So during the filming of Sindhustan, what were some of the learnings you had or about the Sindhi culture, which you also were not probably, aware of?
Actually, I did not. Hindustan is not about stories that you can hear on Google. So I would not know anything that they shared with me because I was most interested in the memories that they carried with them during partition. So those were things that you will not find anywhere else.
Right.
So that was all new only coming to me. I was not really interested in dates and
Hmm.
things that anyone can just look up sin and just find. It's very banal and boring, kind of to go through a cinema like this. And I think like the littlest memory of a swing, just of a game or things that you would like smell and so these were more interesting of what people carry back with them after so many years. That's that one memory that has stuck in their head out of everything else, you know? So I felt that those were very interesting things to kind of learn and take back
Hmm.
uh, from this entire journey.
Right. So this is a very simple question coming because we also cover food and everything. So as a Sindhi, proud Sindhi, apart from Sindhi curry, what are the five Sindhi dishes that people should be trying?
Oh, like that. Well, I don't eat meat anymore, but tiwan,
Okay.
which is mutton. Hindi mutton is really good. And the other four will be tuk, 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 tuk.
Okay.
Like, I don't care about anything else, but I'm more than Sindhi curry. I'm a tuk fan. Like, I
Okay.
could just eat them all day long. But of course, there is like so many other things that, bhindi. I love Sindhi, like even our bhindi that we make, bhindi basar. Um, it's really
What
yum.
is unique about the Sindhi cuisine?
I'm not a cook, so I don't
Yeah,
think I would be able to answer that question for you. But I think what's unique is the taste, for sure. I don't think that taste is there in any of the other cuisine, but that could be said of any
any
cuisine.
cuisine.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Also, it's not easily available everywhere, right? You have to go, like, you can get South Indian, you can get Gujarati, you can get these foods like anywhere you go. Like even if you go to an Indian restaurant, they'll have Chinese and they'll have 500 different Indian, but not Sindhi. So that's just like our language, like everything. We are a niche.
yeah,
So anything niche is cool only.
yeah, absolutely. So if
Yeah.
somebody wants to have good Sindhi food, where do you think they should be
My
looking for?
house.
Acha,
Yeah, I don't cook my mom's house. Rather,
acha.
let me change that around. Yeah, because I don't think these recipes have been passed on for so long. But I think that generations much younger, I don't even know how much is going to still continue because a lot of people are not cooking also anymore.
Hmm.
So this is kind of the scary part.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Sapna, you're also deeply involved with the Wench Film Festival, which is coming up on
Next week,
next week.
26th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
26th. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about what the festival is and what can people expect from there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel India being such a big, diverse country, everyone in this country has a superstition, whether you live in a city, whether you live in a village, whether you are this religion, or this culture or that culture. There is a superstition, there is folklore, there is a ghost, there is something you're afraid of. And for a country this steeped in superstition, we do not have horror, sci-fi, or fantasy, even a festival, or even cinema. If you look at worldwide, this is the largest genre worldwide that has been celebrated for a while now. Let me give an example. Like, even if you look at the Oscars this year, there is a vampire musical called Sinners. It's a
Yeah,
horror film
which won the
which has
maximum nominations.
broken all records, 16 Oscar nominations. Vampire musical. Does that sound Bollywood to you? Yes. I mean, it's a musical, right? But we are nowhere close to making cinema like this. Nowhere. And there are many reasons for it. We're not making it because we are not educated in it. We don't spend enough time in developing a story, which is very important. There is no avenue to even talk about it. So if filmmakers are even making these films, it's not like any festival is going to showcase these films. So when we started, we literally had zero films from India to showcase. We were worldwide. Cut to 2 years later, we have an India Focus Day. That's how you make change. Because people started realizing and watching this cinema from worldwide at a festival and understanding, hey, maybe I can try to, not that they're getting funding from anywhere. This is the beauty of indie people. At least there's an indie festival showcasing your cinema. So they will put in their money, try to make it. Cut to this year is our largest India Focus Day. We have 20 films in one day, and we have turned down over 35 films. We don't accept every film that is submitted to us. And so it's a massive edition. And we have like 52 films. It's really big for an indie festival
Across,
across the world. Out
okay.
of that, 22 are from India, 8 are from Asia, which also includes Korea, Vietnam. We're very happy to include that in our curation. And 33 of these films are directed by women.
Wow.
And the other films, even if you're a man directing a film, we have a special section for you. You have to submit in the man section.
Acha.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because as a woman, I'm so tired of we always have that special section for
Female.
us. Like, oh, so you feel nice, whatever, whatever. So I said, let the men feel nice.
Okay.
You
Perfect rib.
submit in the man section, but even if you're submitting in the man section, you need to have your protagonist that has to be female,
Okay.
or you need to have a female in the key roles,
Oh,
producer or a writer. So
wow.
even the films in the man section
Has
do
a
have
certain
women.
criteria.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It
Wow,
can't be
wow.
all man all the time. And this entire festival actually came about by watching a manel talking. And these men are known for making films about women. And they were sitting on this manel and talking about cinema. And I was like, you don't think a woman should be sitting on your manel since all four of you make films about us? And one of them had the gall to ask me, well, where are the female filmmakers? And that's how Wench started. With the first year, we had 50 some films. It was only online, COVID, all made by women. Just so next time you want to know where are the women filmmakers,
So here is it.
here we are.
Ah, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
So it wasn't genre the first edition, but after that it switched to genre. And so we've been worldwide. Also, we curate for really big festivals. We have tie-ups with really big festivals. Last year we curated for Fantastic Fest. We took Indian filmmakers, their stories there. So that is the goal. The goal is we're so used to hearing about Dracula, the wicked, witch of the West, but we have our own churels and we
Mm,
have our own ghosts. And I want the world to hear about our ghosts also. I want
right,
that to become standard vocabulary.
right.
Yeah.
Sapna, tell us about the five horror films that have impressed you the most.
Well, my horror films are not really
Yeah, it
like
can.
the,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
yeah,
traditional, conventional. Yeah.
yeah. I think there is one. Okay, so there's a film called Teeth. There is a film called Santa Sangre that I really, really love. Carrie, when I was growing up and I watched Carrie, and the first time I got my period, I really thought I was going to burn down my whole school. I was so excited, but it did not happen. Shining.
Okay.
These are all classics.
Classic.
I don't think that there is anything really now, that I
Nothing
would.
from the commercial ones that have really impressed
Yeah,
you.
yeah, I don't, yeah. It's just something just doesn't, it's
Uh,
just, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
interesting. Sapna, there are a lot of women, who are looking for, ideas, how they want to style their hair, but, they may not have the money or the means to do it. What advice or tips would you like to give them? How can they get like a quick makeover from home? Like, hair obviously changes the way you look, the way you feel, like you also rightly mentioned.
Right.
So, what advice would you like to tell them? Something
Um,
simple that can give you a
no, there's nothing simple. First of all, don't follow trends. Don't be that stupid. Follow your heart. If you want to do something, don't be shy. What's there? Just try it. If it doesn't work, undo it. It's just a style, right? You're not cutting your hair. So don't be afraid to try different things and please step out of your norm. Don't be afraid to kind of step out of that box and try new things because something might just click and really just play around and don't follow trends.
hmm.
Yeah.
If someone wants to be a hairstylist in today's day and age, what do's and don'ts would you like to tell the person?
Oh my God, today's day and age, the new breed of hairdressers, I just have to tell them learn to respect the craft. Just because you have a pair of scissors, you are not a hairstylist or a hairdresser. It takes a lot more than that. Put in your time, learn to stand. That's what we do. They can barely stand for like 1 hour and they need to sit down. There is just no respect for the craft. So I would tell you, like the way I was trained, 8 hours, I was not allowed to sit. You had to be standing, watching. So I feel like respect the craft and understand that just buying a material thing does not make you an artist or a master of that craft. You have to put in that time as well.
Right. What are some of the trends you want to, see in the young generation, want them to try?
I hate that word trends.
I know.
So I'm not even going to answer that question.
Okay, okay, okay. But what are some of the styles that you really want people to come back to?
I feel we are very lucky that way because our clientele is very young. And by young, I don't mean age, I mean by heart. So we already have that kind of clientele coming to us who are always ready to try something else. Like nobody ever tells me what to do. They're always like, whatever you think.
Oh,
Yeah. And I feel like that kind of trust is really amazing to have. And so I would say the same, Go to someone you can trust. Go to someone, if you've seen someone's hair you really like and you feel like, oh, maybe, do it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are some of the contemporaries that you've loved, watching?
You mean in hair?
Yeah, in hair.
I mean, they're always my mentors. My biggest mentor is Latanti. Latanti has been running a salon called Latas in Lokhandwala. She is 83. She's still cutting. Her building is now going under. So she came to my salon the other day because she's looking for a new salon to cut hair from.
Acha.
Yeah, so Latanti came and she said, oh, do you think you'll let me cut from you? I'm like, come
Oh.
on. Of course, at 83, the woman is not just ready to pack up. Yeah,
Yeah.
like she is finding another space from Andheri in Bandra to come and work.
Hmm.
We don't get that anymore.
Right,
That's
right.
inspiration. So I don't know if I want to call her my contemporary, but
Hmm.
she's definitely one of the most inspiring hairdressers I have ever met.
You've also worked with Adhuna Akhtar,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Actually, I never. When I first came here in 2002, Juice was in reclamation,
Hmm.
and I signed up for the course because I was cutting hair in America without training, so I'd never really cut Indian hair except for my own, but all Caucasian hair. So if I was going to do hair, I really wanted to kind of train here. But Adhuna actually never trained me. It was this fabulous, khatarnak aurat called Sandrine from France. She was working there, and I really lucked out to have an instructor who was so strict. She did not mince her words, and she would just put you down if you messed up in a second. I could not have really had better training than Sandrine. Really, really blessed. But obviously, it was great to have Aduna around and her energy because of obviously this is her salon. And after that, I used to work. I started working there as well. I worked there, I think, for 6 to 8 months after my academy. And then I started my own salon. But Odd has always been a wonderful friend and a great contemporary. Yeah, yeah,
Right. Sapna, finally, what advice or message do you have for young filmmakers? We see a lot of the kind of films that we are seeing these days,
yeah.
uh, I don't know what your thoughts are, but what message
The
do you like to
same
share?
for hairdressers. Yeah, just because you have a camera and a pen doesn't make you a filmmaker. Also, take your time. You don't need to make that film now, right this second. Experience counts in writing. You're 18. Wait, it's really okay. Assist, live a little, learn a little. I feel like this rush of everything has to happen now. I mean, I've been writing this script for 5 years and I just finished the first draft. There is really no rush. And I feel all artists nowadays feel they are non existent if they don't put something out on Instagram,
Hmm.
or something. Oh, look, I'm here. Where's my story? And you really don't need that. I think that you can really focus on your craft and it'll find its way. It'll find its way. Yeah.
Right. Any style tips or lessons that you'd like to share with our young readers or any
Uh,
general readers?
no, I don't. I don't really give tips. I'm not that person only. But I
Okay.
would always just say, always be yourself in everything. Yeah.
Right. If you were to sum up your journey in a sentence, how would you sum it up?
But my journey is not even started. You're like that stupid publisher who asked me to write my memoirs like 7 years ago. I'm like, but dude, my best life has not even started.
Right.
How many
Wow.
memoirs can you write? You can't keep on writing memoirs. So I've still not written that book,
Wow. That's
you
a
know.
beautiful.
And they're probably like, whatever, now to the point where they're like, whatever, this book is not going to happen. But they don't understand. Like I'm saying, what
Yeah.
is the rush?
Yeah. Yeah.
Matlab, no rush.
It's just begun.
Yeah, every day I'm doing something new,
Hmm.
right? And actually, another friend of mine said something so good the other day. And he said, you know what? You have lived more than what you have to live, right? I'm 55, and that is true. So I really don't have anything. to care about anymore.
Wow.
Because I've lived a great life already. And whatever I have left, why am I going to live that by rules? Or not that I ever lived by rules, but it's even more wonderful now because I can just do whatever the heck I want. Like, whatever. Nahi karna hai, nahi karna hai. You know, so that is the beauty of also coming to that age.
Hmm.
And so my book, like whenever I write it, I've
Yeah.
started writing it, by the way. If you are watching this, Mr. Publisher, um, but it's coming. Whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
The final question, obviously, what is your take on relationships as someone who has gone through 3 failed relationships?
How are they failed? I don't look at a marriage forever anyway. So how is it failed?
Okay.
This
But
is the biggest problem because I think we look at that gaze that कुछ तो forever होना चाहिए भाई तुम्हारी life forever नहीं है तुम्हें और कोई क्या चाहिए forever. I don't look at anything as forever. I look at everything being transient, and you take the best till it lasts, and then you have to let it go. Yeah.
beautiful.
So these relationships are not failed, and all of them I walked out of. So how is that a failed thing? I mean, I walked out because it didn't work out, and I'm still friends with them.
Yeah.
So that's not failed in any way, and I think that's how you look at things. I don't look at a marriage as a big deal, to be honest. I feel it's the next step in a relationship. So first you date, then you whatever. First you go out on a date, then you're in a relationship, then you live in together. Okay, chalo abhi shadi kar lete. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4 step. It's not like, oh my God, shadi is the ultimate. And that also didn't work out. Then again, you're back to single.
Yeah.
It's like a rotation. You have to think of it like that. You give too much attention to this word, marriage.
Right.
Really, it does not need it. And I think that's what's happening with the younger generation. Why people are getting a bit so frazzled, because they don't want to date. They don't want to even drink, for that matter, which is great. They don't want to, marry. They don't have kids. I don't have kids.
Yeah.
I have no desire. So it's a whole different thing, only. It's a mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And I will probably have 500 more marriages. I mean, I'm only 55.
Yeah, you have a long way to go.
Many more men and marriages. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
You work with Gen Z a lot? Do you work with Gen Z?
Gen Z, yeah, I do. I do. Gen Alpha, my godchild, is now 5.5, and I've been very involved in her growing up state. So Gen Alpha and Gen Z is something that I have been involved with a lot. And I feel like they're so refreshing and interesting in many ways, but also, there is a good, bad of everything. I feel like I was telling you, like I bought scissors, I'm this. Little bit arrogance, like come back to earth, Gen Z. But I feel they're really wonderful. And I feel like if that is the future, I feel like we could actually might be, have a good future coming our way. I don't know. I think that.
Right, right. Similar about Gen Alpha.
I don't know. Now they're too young. 5 years or 5.5, like whatever I've been seeing, they are going to be, I think, how generations just kind of skip one and go. I
Yeah.
think that they will become a really great Gen X,
Right.
is Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're seeing
Yeah,
the
because they will learn from their Gen X parents and not do all of those things
right,
and
right.
just become, and they anyway so much smarter. I mean, look what these kids are growing up with. It's like crazy only.
Absolutely. When did you get your first tattoo?
I got my first tattoo when I was 19. I just got into America, and I was so excited that you could actually do this. So I was 19.
And how many tattoos do you have in all?
I mean, that question, it's almost like a good alcoholic never counts the number of drinks. They just drink. तुम्हें पीना है ना तो तुम घुस जाओ. Counting and all is for amateurs.
Acha.
Yeah, like only amateurs count. I had 3 drinks last night. Alcoholic will never tell you that.
Yeah, true.
I drank.
Okay,
I
right.
got inked. Same. It's like there is no number of tattoos.
Each tattoo will obviously be special for you, but what is that one thing that is very close to you? One tattoo that really kind
There's
of
no such thing actually, but my whole legs are kind of the story of Sindh. So my legs are a walking testament of our culture and our roots, and the legs also because of the lack of our roots. That's why I picked my legs and my feet because they symbolize that. So worldwide, it's been a great journey. Everywhere I go, people look at my tattoos and they know about Sindh. Whether you like it or not, now you know about Sindh. So it's been a really wonderful sort of a way. I even took it to Burning Man. I told the story of sin through my legs. I do that with a lot of kids. I do show and tell on my legs, tell the story of our
you
ancestors.
Ajrak. I saw somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is
This is
Ajrak.
Ajrak. Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
that's Madhubani.
yeah, that's
Yeah, so
Madhubani.
it's like a
Okay,
mix of both. Yeah.
really lovely, Sapna.
Thank you.
Amazing to
Thank
have
you.
you. You know,
Thank you. Thank you.
like as a guest. I think
अरे ये क्या हो गया?
Sapna has been an amazing amazing guest.
Host also.
Host because she's asking questions back at us, so she's playing the host and the guest today.
Right.
So Sapna, we wish you amazing success for your film festival and also for Mad-O-Wot. You know, and we really look forward to having more of you in the years to come to host you.
Thank you so much.
We hope to see more of your style in the coming up years.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
It was lovely talking to you.
Thank you.